Welcome, Jordan here. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the reality of what's known as the healing journey, but for a man specifically. In this video, I'm here to share with you what it truly looks like to transform yourself internally and make a real identity shift in who you are to change everything around you to be an expression of what is now the essence of the new you. So let's first of all just look at how would you know if this is going to be beneficial to you? Well, if you find yourself in a position where you are doing things constantly, but you also find yourself not really experiencing the results that you want to experience, this is going to be relevant to you in some way, shape, or form. If you find yourself just feeling an overload of heavy emotions or feel like you are more reactive than you would like to be, and that causes friction or resistance in your relationships, your work, it stops you from doing the things that you know you should be doing. If you find yourself sabotaging yourself along the way when you just get to a certain point and then for some reason it just goes downhill from there. If you find yourself seeking external validation or proof that things are working by constantly looking outwards from yourself, it's going to be relevant to you. This is really the essence of what I've discovered to be where true transformation lies for many men, many men along the way. Over the last number of years, I've had the privilege of serving over 300 clients. Probably 95% of them have been men. So based on that and my own journey, I'm going to be sharing the truth about really what it takes to transform these different things that we've discussed so far. And we're going to use some examples as well to make this clearer to you, because the healing journey can also sound very esoteric. It can sound very up in the air. What is that? What does it mean to heal? Well, let's start normalizing this word, first of all, as men. There is things in our life that cause us to hold certain perspectives on ourselves and the world. Some people have certain perspectives. Other people have different perspectives. We all have a unique perspective in our own way, shape, and form. But when you look at people out there who are successful in some domain, maybe your industry, or maybe they're doing something similar to you, it can oftentimes feel like you are comparing yourself to them because they're doing things a certain way and you model that, or you look at what they're doing and you use some things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we have to understand that everybody's journey is so unique. And I know you've heard that before. But it's unique not because everybody's just on their own path and things, naturally unfold. That's part of it. But also because we have certain things that have caused us to have certain perspectives in our life that are different from other people. So for example, a very, very simple example here. Someone may grow up in a household where money was not an issue. They may have grown up in a household where they got loved unconditionally as much as their parents could, which means that they're going to have a different perspective on life than someone who grew up with financial struggle, than someone who grew up with parents who didn't really love them the way that they could, right? We're going deep here. Those two different people are going to have completely different perspectives on life, which means that there is nobody that you can compare yourself to except yourself. We have to be able to own and understand that there's things that have come up in our life thus far that need healing. They need to be looked at. They need to be cared for. We need to be able to express love to those parts of ourselves and to stop judging them. For many years in my life, I dove deep into meditation. Meditation was a massive part of me changing my life. But I thought oftentimes that I would just keep meditating and keep being in this state of isolation for me to transform. But what truly was the essence of what meditation was bringing me closer to was unlocking the deeper aspects of what was truly going on within my own self. Because when I suffered from self-sabotage, or I would sabotage either my work, my business, or my relationships, or I would sabotage different things that were going well for me, or I would feel unworthy of the success that I wanted, or if I set goals and I knew that I could achieve them, but I didn't really believe that I was worthy of that. The real way to transform those things is to go on the journey of healing that at the root. Because for me, I was like, I want to find the truth. What is the thing that actually causes this change? Because I was reading and learning and intellectualizing a lot of information, and it was great. I was learning so much, and I had so many little shifts along the way. But I wanted real change. So to get real change, I went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into myself. And it got scary. It got dark because what I was doing was going into the depths of the pain that I felt growing up. I was going into the depths of what it meant to feel completely unloved, neglected, to feel the fear of abandonment, to feel the essence of what it meant to not be appreciated for who I was, and instead had to wear masks or perform or pretend that I was somebody else to be loved or to be worthy or to be successful. So when we look at these aspects, the healing journey is being able to mend those things for good. The healing journey is not something that is a nice, fluffy thing that is a distraction from the real work. This is the real work. But this is where it gets interesting, because we're not going to be ignoring the other side, that action is being taken. And this is why it's so challenging for men. Right? I can't speak for women here, so I don't know. I'm sure it's the same or similar in different ways. But this is for men specifically. Because in every man there is a boy, regardless of what you believe. There is a boy within all of us. And that boy may have not understood things the way we understand them now growing up. In fact, he didn't. There's no way he could have. And there's certain experiences that that boy had growing up that caused him to have a perspective and saw himself and the world in a different way than others. Those certain experiences may have caused him to feel like he is not worthy of success or financial abundance or support or love. There may have been experiences where he started to believe that he wasn't good enough, no matter what. So his life was dedicated to trying to be enough through action. But what this does, it distorted the action that he took. It distorted the energy that he was putting out into the world to actually create more resistance to what he was trying to achieve, because even though he achieved some of those things along the way, he still didn't feel enough because the feeling never left. The reality of the healing journey is getting to the root of that. It's learning to love the boy within. And learning to love that boy within, it's one of the most impactful things that you'll ever do in your life. This shit makes me emotional because it is so powerful and it goes so deep. Because when you learn to love the boy within, not only do you give your own self the love that you feel you didn't deserve or didn't receive growing up, from whatever experiences caused you to believe that, or whatever experiences caused you to feel like you had to perform to receive love, or whatever the case was. Not only do you love the boy within, but you actually become a stronger man because of it. Because there is no woman, there is no friend, there is no mentor, there is nobody who's going to love that part of you until you do. And this is the harsh reality of it. Because relationships can oftentimes be a mirror of really what's going on within. If the other person doesn't love or respect or treat you the way that you want to be treated, it's because you're not doing that for yourself. So no relationship is going to mirror back anything that's not already existed within you. Because as men, that boy within doesn't go away. That boy within desires love from you, only you, nobody else. So you have to father that boy while simultaneously being a man at the same time. This is where the paradox and the complexity can come into play, because you are now caring for the boy within. And you are also being the boy within, while simultaneously being the father and the leader that goes out there and executes, while simultaneously loving that part of you and feeling the heavy emotions that that boy within may feel, like fear or insecurity or doubt or lack or feelings of unworthiness or whatever the case is. It's really unique for everybody. But you deserve it. That boy within you deserves it. And you deserve to give yourself that love. And you deserve to experience the fruits that come from that. And you deserve to experience what it means to truly step into your masculine truth as a leader. Because the only way that you can truly do that, from my perspective, is to love the boy within. And use that love that is emanating out of your being, your frequency, in the service of others. Because if we look at it from the reverse, if there's a boy within that is not healed or that is being neglected, how can you be a powerful leader? There's an energy underneath all of it of an unmet need that is coming from a boy within you that is not being seen. One of the root causes of overthinking. It's one of the root causes of sabotage. It's one of the root causes of just like this overwhelming, heavy fear within. It's the voice within you that you always hear when things get scary or there's doubt creeping in. It's a scared little boy within. And if that boy is not healed, if that journey has not gone on, then you become the boy in a man's body, unable to really love, because you can't experience something that you don't give to yourself. Unable to really lead because you're unable to lead the boy within yourself. Unable to really serve others to the highest degree, because how can you serve others from a place of true love and compassion and truth if that hasn't even been seen in you, in your own self? And look, we don't have a lot of masculine role models in this world to really model. There's a few that come to mind, but very few. And they're of an old generation. This is paving a new way for conscious men who are doing the work within themselves to heal. And they are going to emerge as the world leaders in their industry, in their family, for their community. And that is something that I can say that I know in my heart and soul is the truth. You don't have to believe me, but I know that that's the truth. We are rebuilding what it means to be men. We are rebuilding what it means to be a heart-led leader. Because oftentimes we can think that feeling an emotion is weak. Oftentimes we can think that these things are just feminine or for women. But what does that tell you? That just screams, I'm afraid of my emotions. It's not power. It's not. So we have to realize that. We have to realize that going into the depths of being able to feel the heaviness of whatever it was that we went through, the perspectives that we hold, and deconstructing those things, that's real power. Being willing to go into those things instead of running from them. And then in the world around us, it starts to create this world of men who are pretending to be powerful. Because there's a real difference between true power within that comes from deep love, and power that is an ego construct to show that person as being perceived to be powerful, but deep underneath all of it, just a scared little boy that has not been healed. So the healing journey for men is the real deal. And I say this to you because I'm walking this path and I'm here in it, in the depths of it right now. I'm in the depths right now of learning deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, because I've been on this journey for quite some time, but it gets more challenging, especially when you're stepping into greater levels of leadership. Because to do that with integrity requires healing. So it's being able to sit with the emotions that are coming up, to feel the heaviness of it, to not judge myself for it, while simultaneously launching offers, having sales conversations, creating and building products, while simultaneously doing what I need to do to release some of the heaviness of the emotion that I feel that comes up from emotional triggers or feelings of lack within myself. Because with the different titles that I've been playing around with for what I do specifically, identity architect is something I've landed on more recently. But to embody a certain title requires a certain journey that backs up the title. Because if we're going to be helping people with their mind or their health or their fitness or their business or creating a new reality for themselves, we better be fucking ready to embody that beyond what normal people would consider change. We better be ready to embody a whole new version of life. This is where the change occurs, man. Let's make the healing journey normal for men. Because the more we reject it, the more we suppress it, the more we just kick the can down the fucking road for the work that is there to be done. There's only so long you can pretend. We cannot pretend anymore. We must be real. We must embody the truth of what it means to be a strong masculine leader. Not from what we think that is, but from what we are actually building within our own self to become that. Your version of that is what's needed in the world. And the deeper you go into that journey, the more you unlock more and more of yourself, the more that you learn to love that little boy within, the more that you learn to change your perception and perspectives around certain experiences that you've had, the more that you learn to forgive your parents and love them unconditionally for the mirrors that they are, the more you show up in the world from a place of love regardless of what's happening in your external circumstances, the more we embody our own true version of what it truly means to be a leader. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy at all, but it's what's required.